Hey there YouTube, it's Nick with Feeding Fitness. Today's video topic is another one that was suggested by one of my MyFitnessPal friends. You can follow me on MyFitnessPal, the link is down in the description, it's always there, it's in all the videos. You can follow me and see what I eat every day. So the question was asked, which is better, lifting heavy or lifting light? Who should do what? And the answer to this is simple. The explanation is a little bit complex, so I'm going to dive right in. First of all, let's talk about what lifting heavy means and what lifting light means. This is not how much you can lift, because what's heavy to me and what's light to me could be completely different to you or somebody else. That's not what we're talking about. For heavy, we're talking about working in the rep ranges of things you can do maybe 1 to 5 times. I would consider that heavy work. A squat that you can do for a set of 3, that's heavy squatting. Light, I'm going to consider more 8 to 12, maybe even up to 15. That's a lightweight to me. Anything more than, if you're working in rep ranges higher than 15, you're almost doing a combination of like strength and conditioning work. I'm not even going to talk about that. If you're doing, sets of 20 for something, that's in a different category than what I'm talking about. So, who should lift in what rep range? Now, the simple bro answer to this is powerlifters should lift heavy, bodybuilders should lift in the 8 to 12, and girls should lift in the 12 to 15 so they don't get bulky. Well, that's a very bro answer. There's not a lot of science behind any of that. First and foremost, the idea that women need to lift in the lightweight range or in the 12 to 15 rep range to not get bulky, that's just complete nonsense. We can throw that out first. That's the easiest thing to disregard because it's just completely not true. 2 things really can make a woman bulky. One is the use of anabolic steroids, and the other is maybe 5, upwards of 10 years of hard training where your goal was to get as big and bulky as possible. If that is what you are after and you eat in a manner that tries to achieve that goal, you can do it, but you really have to be trying. Women aren't just going to get huge if they start lifting heavy, so you guys don't have to worry about that. So now let's discuss why heavy lifting for power lifters, light lifting for bodybuilders is also kind of bro. Because in all actuality, both bodybuilders and power lifters should lift in both rep ranges. And if your goal is simply aesthetic, you don't really care about being in a bodybuilding competition or a powerlifting competition, you just really kind of want to look good with your shirt off, then really you definitely should do a mixture of both, with the majority of your training falling in between in that medium rep range. So why is this important to include, the entire rep range? Well, strength is important because it is directly correlated with muscle gains. If you are gaining muscle mass, you should be getting stronger and vice versa. Those are interconnected. So working in the strength range, the 1 to 5 rep heavy stuff, will help you lift more in the hypertrophy or light range, the 8 to 12 rep stuff. There's carryover between all of that. So it's important to work your heavy squats. Those are going to allow you to do heavier weights on things in the higher rep range. If your accessory work, for example, if you do 3 sets of 3 on squat for heavy weights, and you increase that number, that will certainly have spillover to when you do leg press for 8 to 12 and vice versa. So it's important to work both ranges. Now, most people will do best with a mixture of everything. And if you're just in it for that aesthetics type deal, the middle of the range, the 5 to 8, might be the best bet for you. That might be where you want to do the majority of your work, especially for your compound moves, bench, squat, deadlift. Keep it around the 5 to 8. Beginners programs are always 5 by 5, so you're always, doing 5 sets of 5. And that's specifically because it gives you a little best of both worlds. Now, once you start to specialize, you've been training for a couple of years, it is good to incorporate both the heavy and hypertrophy ranges into your training. Now, if you are a strength athlete, powerlifting is your thing, of course you're going to be doing more strength work, but that doesn't mean we neglect the high rep work. You should still be doing some of that for your accessory movements. You know, you shouldn't completely rule that out. And if bodybuilding is your goal, it is still important to every now and again focus on strength, especially when you're in your cutting phases and you're really trying to tear off body fat but maintain muscle. Doing some of that heavy work can help with that. So that shows you that really working and incorporating all the rep ranges into your training is going to do you best. Personally, I like to keep the compound movements heavier and the accessory and isolation movements lighter. That's kind of no nonsense, that's kind of duh, but you know, I hate to see people who go in and do 12 reps of everything. Especially women, I see women do this all the time. It's 12 to 15 of everything they do. And it doesn't have to be. This heavy work is going to help you guys too, and there's plenty of good reasons why you should be doing it as well. So the answer, as I said, the simple answer is which is better? They're both better. You should incorporate it all into your training, and I hope the explanation wasn't too lengthy for you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, that helps me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can always ask questions in the comments below or over at the Facebook page at facebook.com/feedingfitness, and I'll see you guys next time.